been in fires a lot. No matter how experienced you are, you got to have somebody on your shoulder telling you that, they're backing you, because you don't know. There are times when you say, hey, God, just get me through this. I'll be a good boy, and I'll go to church on Sunday. I'm going to take care of everything. Get me through this.
The battleground. It's very important to know the enemy is fire and how the enemy spreads, convection, conduction, and radiation. And you got to know your battlefield. You're going to do battle on the fire ground, so you got to know the battlefield.
The best thing could happen to all of my people would they run into all of you. The whole secret of this business, I think, is to know your job as intimately and as interconnected as you possibly can.
The premier position that the workers in this room have put this service in is that we are the most popular service, we're the most accepted service, and we're the most trusted service. Now, the worst thing that can happen to us is that we get complacent and we don't keep agitating each other, and we don't keep asking the kinds of questions that we are asking here.
To be able to work at an occupation which brings tremendous personal satisfaction, and to enjoy the association with the marvelous people we have been privileged to work with, makes firefighting enviable to those sentenced to much more mundane walks of life.
Somewhere in this room, there is someone that will be up here on this stage accepting this award in the future, because this is the group that is the leadership of the fire service.
I think, like most people that have these things happen to them, they realize that they really stand on the shoulders of people who have gone before them, people who have stand next to them, and people they admire.
To the FDIC fire engineering family, and to my beloved friend, the late Steve Alk. As a team, there was nothing we could not accomplish in making this the greatest fire service conference in the world.
It will be all of you, the true leaders of the fire service, that keep the torch of tradition burning intensely, that will steer us through these turbulent waters and allow us to emerge an even stronger and more resilient fire service.
You're the best and the brightest the fire service has to offer. And I would encourage you to attend as many classes as you can. Take the knowledge you gain, bring it back and share it with your team, and above all, be all that you can be. Thank you, stay safe, God bless, and buckle up.
This award, it's a testament to a pursuit, a calling, a sharing, knowledge. We understood the phenomena of smoke movement through the stack effect, but we didn't associate that with fire behavior and the fact that if you were in a position of smoke and fire travel, you were in the barrel of a shotgun.
Before I came out, they reminded me there's no crying in firefighting. It's going to be tough. Gratitude has been expressed throughout the ages as the most important of all the virtues, for measuring one's ability to assess the world, to support the good, and to promote the righteous. I don't know of anyone who has ever met, heard, or been exposed to Rick Lasky who has not been grateful for that opportunity. I do not know of anyone who, when reflecting on Rick Lasky, has not been obligated to express their gratitude to him for some gift that he left with them. For some, a gift of inspiration, some education, some support, some direction, some friendship, some loyalty, but kindness and love to all. I am personally grateful to Ricky for all those gifts and for this unique chance in this setting to say thank you for everything. We assemble here today to recognize Chief Ricky Lasky for his lifetime achievements, but we should more correctly recognize him for how his influence made possible the achievements of so many who have done so much with those gifts to make this world a better place. Here's a snapshot of Rick's career so far. Rick is a 37-year veteran of the fire service. He served famously as the chief of Louisville, Texas Fire Department for 12 years, where I was proud and humbled to serve alongside him at many fires and events, learning and growing from his leadership and his example. Before Louisville, Rick was the chief in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, where he served famously also, and he recently served as the interim chief in Trophy Club, Texas, where he assisted in securing a new chief for his neighbors to protect their community. Rick has service in his bloodlines. He followed in his father's footsteps, beginning his career as a firefighter in the suburbs of the southwest side of Chicago. Rick has functioned at virtually every rank in our profession. He has been a line firefighter. He has been a firefighter paramedic. He has been a company officer, a training officer, a command level officer. Rick has walked the walk, and he has proven himself at every level. While serving as an instructor for the prestigious Illinois Fire Service Institute, he received the 1996 International Society of Fire Service Instructors Innovator of the Year Award for his part in developing the Saving Our Own program, a sentinel program for the fire service, which is credited in saving the lives of tens of thousands of firefighters. That Saving Our Own program has inspired rapid intervention programs and RIT training as a necessary standard throughout the world. We owe that to Rick Lasky. Rick's also a proud two-hatter. Over his 30-plus years in the fire service, he's also served as a career and volunteer firefighter. Long-standing member of the editorial advisory board for fire engineering, he's authored numerous articles related to fire department operations, administrations, training, and safety. He is, okay, here's the duh line. He is the author of the best-selling book, Pride and Ownership of Firefighters' Love of the Job. And co-author with his closest friend and fire service icon, Chief John Salka. Of the amazing leadership book, 5-Alarm Leadership, From the Firehouse to the Fireground. He's the co-host of the radio show The Command Post, heard on Fire Engineering Radio, and co-host of Fire Engineering's Hump Day Hangout, Issues and Challenges in Today's Fire Service, on the third Wednesday of every month. In his spare time, he writes a blog for us in Firefighter Nation, and we don't pay him a dime. So he's a saint. Rick's also served, many of you may not know, as a police officer. And he was actually wounded on several occasions, once while defending a family from violence. He's received numerous fire and police awards and commendations. Rick has an associate's degree from Columbia Southern University and was selected as the CSU 2012 Outstanding Graduate. He's a member of Columbia Southern's Fire Service Advisory Board. He was also an honored 2011 inductee into the Chicago Softball Hall of Fame. He's a Louisville honorary police officer and an honorary battalion commander in the 18th Battalion of the FDNY. He is married to one of the most elegant, kind, beautiful, gentle, and giving woman on the face of the planet, a woman who probably deserves our deepest appreciation and thanks. No, he's not married to John Salka. This is, the poor teleprompter dude's freaking out. Emily Lasky has allowed us to have Rick, and that's a huge, huge, huge deal. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for us, Emily. Please stand. Jamie, please. Please, Jamie. Ricky has two outstanding children who can't be here with us today. Rick, a U.S. Navy corpsman who has been wounded in battle and is currently studying and getting his education, proudly served in the United States Navy. And Emily, an outstanding student and an outstanding college fast-pitch softball player. Here are a few thoughts about Rick from so many of his colleagues and friends, and I apologize to the 17,000 of you who we couldn't include in this list. We had to tell them to quit sending us the letters. It was insane. We melted down 2 servers. Division Chief Eddie Buchanan wrote the following. He said, Rick has been a force for moving the fire service forward for years. You know Rick from his tremendous body of work on the national and global level, for his contagious love of the job. But what you don't know about Rick is his role as a mentor, coach, and friend to many of us in the fire service. Rick took a personal interest in me, a young lieutenant, and coached me to write my very first article for fire engineering. He didn't have to do that. Rick adopted me, and he has been my personal mentor and friend to me for nearly 20 years. Chief Kenny Gabriel, Chief of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, said, I can think of few people who have changed the culture of an entire fire service. Chief Rick Lasky has done just that. I am lucky to have him as a friend, mentor, and I can think of no one more deserving for this Lifetime Achievement Award. Deputy Chief William Goldfeder says, Rick's unique and highly personal pride and ownership campaign has probably done more to recharge our batteries and attitudes as firefighters and officers than any other leader in our business. It makes perfect sense that Rick is being recognized with the Lifetime Achievement Award. FDNY Deputy Chief John Norman had this to say. Rick and I first met at the Illinois Fire Service Institute, where I was teaching a private dwelling fires class. I had the privilege of knowing Rick for more than 25 years, and I am happy to call him my friend. FDNY Captain Mike Dugan says, when I first came to FDIC to teach hands-on in 1999, I met Ricky Lasky. Rick was teaching the Saving Our Own program while I was working for Chief Salka teaching Get Out Alive. I was the new kid on the block and in awe of Rick and his friend John. I mentioned to Rick that I was doing some teaching and I was having trouble obtaining some copies of certain videos. 3 weeks later, a package arrived at my house containing the videos that I had mentioned. Congratulations to my friend Rick on winning this prestigious award. It is well deserved. Rick's best friend, and a man who has contributed an entire lifetime and has done more for so many people that it's amazing that these two legends, icons, leaders, gentlemen, scholars, thought leaders, dads, husbands, friends should be together. Truly one of the finest pairings of all time. Chief John Salka said this of his lifetime dear friend. I have known Ricky Lasky for over 20 years now, but it feels like we've been friends forever. We met right here at FDIC at hot training, and our friendship and professional relationship has grown into something special. One of the things I like best about Rick is his honesty. When I ask a question, I get an answer, and it's not always good news. One of the greatest benefits of true friendship is you can always depend on an honest answer. Rick is a true friend, and he and I have tackled issues, argued points, and developed programs without a harsh word ever being spoken. Rick treats everyone like that. If you meet him this morning and ask him a question, a few hours later, you're going to get a straight answer. You'll get a straight answer because Ricky Lasky is a straight shooter. He often talks about integrity, pride, honesty, and honor, and he does one better. He lives it. I was thrilled when I learned that Rick was receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award, and I couldn't be prouder to call him my friend. If you guys would just stand up together for a second, Ricky, John, please. The old professor, Glenn Corbett, said this of Rick. When anyone discusses the subject of pride in the fire service, there is only one name that comes to mind, Rick Lasky. He has single-handedly brought to the fire service the esprit de corps motivators back to the forefront, making sure that we all understand how unique and critical our fire protection mission actually is. Captain Lisa Reed says the following of Rick. Chief Lasky helped me to care personally and involve myself professionally and emotionally in the work of each firefighter I teach. For me, it's personal to do my part to the best of my ability. It's about making a difference, making it better for the firefighters who come after us. This is a beautiful line. She wrote, "My firehouse is a place of peace, where anything is possible." After 26 years as a firefighter, just because of Chief Lasky, my mentor, my friend who said the right words at exactly the right moment when I needed to hear it. It truly changed my life. And in an ironic twist, a man who usually speaks in art, Paul Combs, spoke for all of us with these final thoughts. I was among the thousands of nameless faces in the audience during Chief Lasky's 2000 FDIC keynote address. I did not know this man on stage. All I knew is that I wanted to be like him someday. I wanted to make a difference in the lives of others, the way he has changed my life, and the way he has been changing my life since that day. From that moment, I started on a journey because of Chief Lasky's passion and inspiration. He lit the fire that burns in every cartoon I create, and I cannot begin to thank him enough for his continued friendship, support, and mentoring. Please, join with me now in acknowledging the life, the virtue, the accomplishments that have defined this year's FDIC Lifetime Achievement Award winner, ladies and gentlemen, the great Chief Rick Lasky.
Wow. Thank you and good morning. Wow. Welcome to the greatest conference on the face of the earth. It's absolutely a privilege and honor to be here each and every year and meet some of the most incredible people in our great fire service every time we have an opportunity to come to Indy or travel anywhere. I want to take this opportunity to thank Bobby Halton. Bobby has been not just a mentor, but a close and dear friend, and I love you, buddy. I also want to take an opportunity to introduce someone very special to some of you, and that's Eileen Brennan Kress, Tom's daughter. I want to thank Eileen for representing the entire Brennan family each and every year, and for her dad. Thank you, Eileen. And to my fire engineering, fire rescue, fire apparatus journal, FDIC families, thank you for what you do, for taking care of my family, and for training the entire fire service. What an incredible group of people. Hi, Mary Jane. I love her. What an incredible group of folks. If you're one of those people that never had the opportunity to meet Tom Brennan, I sure wish you did. If you did, it would last for you for the rest of your life, as it did me. Tom always had time for anyone he met. He always had time to visit, share, and spend time with those he loved the most, firefighters. Tom didn't have to jump on anyone else's bandwagon to be popular. Popularity just came naturally to him, as it does with all great leaders. But if you did have that opportunity to visit with him, just for a moment, there would have been three things you would have taken away from Chief Brennan, as I did, and they would have lasted with you forever. Number one was train. Chief Brennan was all about training. Coming to this conference is all about training, grabbing everything you can, fine-tuning, getting the adrenaline rush, the injection of energy you need. I said they should make a monster drink called FDIC and put it out every year. This is the place. He always had time to train people, as we do here. Staying sharp, accepting anything, and understanding anything new that comes down the road, but never forgetting about the traditions that have made this the noblest of callings. Number two from Tom would be mentor. Mentor, train, share with everybody, make a difference. Love this job, and to anyone that doesn't, to anyone that disrespects it, show them the door. And number three, and most important, family. We're all about family. The people in your lives, your mentors, your family that have made a difference each and every step of the way. Bobby, I can't thank you enough for not just being a mentor, but for being my very, very good friend. You've done so much for me, too. Diane Rothschild, a.k.a. Auntie Diane to my daughter. Diane's backstage, but you'll never know just truly what you've done for me in my career. Thank you, Diane. To my, you said no crying, Bobby. To my best friend, John Salga. John, I lost my brother, my only brother, when I was 13 years old, but I found him again in you. Thank you. Here we go. So, I've got two incredible children, my son and my daughter, as Bobby mentioned. I love you to the moon and back. To my dad, who introduced me to the fire service and allowed me to fall in love with it. To my absolutely best friend in the whole wide world, my wife, Jamie, who has been my support system, my reality checker, my voice of reason. He pushed me up here. Come here. The absolute biggest supporter in my life, and I would be nowhere without you, honey. Thank you. And in closing, to everyone here, thank you for what you do. Thank you for making a difference each and every day, and thank you for your passion, your absolute passion for the most incredible profession. Whether you're a volunteer career, it's the same thing, firefighter. Thank you for what you do. God bless you, and be safe. Thank you.